All right. What is up, everyone? It's Austin from AppSheet Training here, and welcome to the grand unveiling of AppSheet Training. We're going to show you guys how to unlock the full power of AppSheet. So, we're going to go ahead and get started with some introductions. As always, I'm Austin from AppSheet Training. I'm super excited to be here, and I'll let Stefan and DeAnna introduce themselves now.
Hi, everyone. My name is DeAnna. I'm the Director of Training Operations for Crew, and am also just excited to be here and presenting to you today.
I'm Stefan, President of Crew over here, and also super stoked. I think you guys are going to be really excited about what we have to release today, and just excited to dive in.
Super excited to have you on here and to hear what's been going on with AppSheet Training, as well as I would love to hear your story and your journey with AppSheet. What was it like building your very first AppSheet app?
Well, Austin, let me tell you about it. Part of me wishes I could say I have 30 years of app development experience and have this great career depth in no code, but really no code's not even that old. And AppSheet itself is like 8.5, 9 years old. So it's still a fairly new thing in the market, a fairly new thing in the technology space. And I came across it in 2017. I was working for a remodeling company, kind of in between jobs and just trying to figure things out in life. And I was responsible for doing all of the sales and estimating, and then occasionally project management for this remodeling company. It was a small company, and so I was wearing a lot of hats, and I was totally underqualified.
Yeah.
But I was working in spreadsheets all day to generate these estimates.
Mm-hmm.
And the company had already had some sort of a process
Okay.
template that I was working with. And after doing it for 3, 4, 5 weeks, I realized how different every estimate template is, and how kind of every project manager is doing different things inside of it. And I thought maybe we should get a little structure here. So I'm looking through the Google Sheet extension store to see if there's just any goodies out there that I can utilize to improve this spreadsheet, give it some more structure and maybe better form factor. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm looking through, and then I see this entry for AppSheet, and it says build an app for free with data in your spreadsheet. And I was like, that's gotta be a gimmick. Like, that's not real. You can't just make a mobile app for free. That's expensive and complicated stuff. Mm-hmm. So I totally ignored it. And a week later, I'm back in there, frustrated at my lousy spreadsheet. And I'm like, okay, it's free. Why not? Why not try it? So they got me on the free trial, and within 2 hours, 3 hours, I had my first app actually on my phone, like deployed, used, and I was like taking pictures of things with, the photo feature, and I was just mind blown. Obviously, it wasn't super complicated. I didn't go for the whole estimating process. It just started with like a receipt capture app because we had to track all sorts of expenses on these jobs. Mm-hmm. And it was just a simple filling out one table in a spreadsheet. And I'm like, I have a real app on my phone in a couple hours of work. I had wanted to get into programming. I'd wanted to get into some sort of development, but the idea of spending 3 to 6 months building something just to like, get the first MVP out. Right. I'm like, that's just too long for me. It's not worth the time of investment, or I didn't have the attention span for it.
Yeah.
Respect everyone who does do that, but it was just not the speed I wanted to solve problems at. And now in a couple of hours, I'm out here solving real problems with pretty legit technology. And I'm like, how can I take this further? Right. So I try to, get a second table in there. I said, okay, I need a table of jobs to track receipts on those jobs so I can sum them up. And as soon as I do that, I'm like breaking the app and getting the red dot of death in the editor and the exclamation point of confusion about why my references don't work. And I'm like searching everywhere for how to get this out. And I'm like, I just had a great app and now I've busted it. So I'm sure many people who are watching have been in that same situation.
Yeah. How did you get past these roadblocks?
Yeah. So I was already hooked, which I think is the most important part. And I tip my hat to AppSheet and Praveen and everybody at the AppSheet team who made a product that was you so easily see the potential, right? And it makes you want to press in past these sticking points. So back in 2017, there was not a ton of training material and not a ton of documentation. Yeah. But AppSheet did collaborate with a community member, Multi-Tech Visions. I don't know if you guys see him on the community forums, but he's a good friend of mine now. His name's Matt, really awesome guy. Yeah. And he had produced, I don't know, maybe half a dozen or a dozen AppSheet training videos. Yeah. Just covering entry-level features. And he had one that was like a fire extinguisher tracking app. And I was like, he used references in there. And I watched that video back and forth like 15 times trying to figure out how he did that and why mine was busted. Yeah. And eventually it took me like several days to finally understand what was going on, but I got the breakthrough and, started utilizing that sort of data relationship model across other apps. I started applying this design pattern to other business problems in the business. And within, 3, 4, 5 weeks, I had 3 or 4 apps that we were using in the business and were actually providing value. And I was hooked, man. I was like, this is so great. And starting to learn more about the expressions and trying to add more specific business logic, workflows, sending automatic emails, trying to connect to things like QuickBooks or different third-party tools using Zapier. So, yep.
That's awesome. Yeah. So it sounded like you just had, enough interest in the product and it was working to solve those problems quickly that you needed help for, creating those automations for the company that you're working for, and you're getting traction and you just kept learning and learning and learning and then reaching out to other experts. Multi-Tech Visions, is that right?
Yeah, Multi-Tech Visions, putting things out in the community forum. Yeah. Reading through whatever documentation was available at the time.
That's awesome. All right. So then you've been learning and you've been using AppSheet for a while, and now you're on to that next milestone of you built a few apps for your own business. What's kind of the next stage? How many apps have you built since then? And then what would your advice be to someone who's learning or getting started in AppSheet development?
Yep. So my journey is a little bit different than maybe a lot of people that approach AppSheet. I'm more entrepreneurial bent. That's why I'm started this company. It's just in my heart to do things like that. And so I immediately looked for the business opportunity behind AppSheet and said, hey, I really enjoy building these things. I don't really enjoy construction. Very stressful, but I like building these apps and this is really cool. I wonder if I can do this and make enough money to survive. And I somehow, by the grace of God, convinced my wife to let me do that. Yes. And we jumped in, and within a couple of months, I just reached out to some people in my personal network who I had heard might be having some different business automation efficiency issues and were looking for a solution. So I got a couple of projects right there off the bat with just friends and family, trying to put this technology to use for different use cases that I wasn't directly familiar with. Okay. So, and that's kind of the hard part. The beauty of AppSheet is that it takes the power to solve the problem and puts it in the hands of the person that has the problem. Yeah. Rather than putting the power to solve a problem in a team of developers that are so far away from the problem that it's like speaking a different language to them. When you're trying to work together and do product development, you have to have all this infrastructure and process just to get a solution to come to life. Right. But AppSheet shortens that gap, and the person that is right in front of the problem that has all the business logic in their head can make the solution in a reasonable amount of time. Yeah. So when you're building apps for others and they're not your problems, then you have to work on, hey, how can you communicate with someone else to build their solution? And so it takes, in my opinion, it takes longer. You have to have more experience with AppSheet and the breadth of what it can do to be able to successfully build for others. And fortunately, they were very merciful with me in my first few apps that were pretty sketchy. And then I reached out on freelancer platforms like Upwork and became part of the AppSheet partner program and got a few customers who I didn't know. And we actually still have some of those customers working at Crew, and occasionally we'll hire a new developer and a bug will come up on that project and we'll ask them to fix it. And they look at the app and they're like, why is this app so terrible? And that's because Stefan made it 5 years ago when he knew nothing. And, it's fun to look back and say, okay, that was my first few apps. And then now 5 years later, I've worked on hundreds, maybe 200-300 different apps.
Wow.
My AppSheet account is absolutely horrendously explosive. You can't find anything because there's 300 apps shared with my account. And at a team level, we've probably done 500 apps and all sorts of projects with companies, big, small, people trying to pilot their own software as a service and trying to, prove their concept to go to market with, which I don't usually recommend AppSheet for, but it can be nice, lightweight prototyping. But then others who are taking their business problems that either are part of their small business or they work for a larger company that, they're wanting to make an impact and make their work life easier, make their coworkers' work lives easier and more efficient, save the company money, make life fun. And really that's what we love doing at Crew is tools like AppSheet allow you to have a fun work environment. It's a fun way to solve a problem. And it usually creates an enjoyable experience for the people who are going to use the app.
Yeah. How has your experience in learning no code helped you in the development of our website and our training services?
When we were first kind of getting off the ground as Crew Technology, so I was bringing some other people into the business, we were getting traction, building apps for others. The AppSheet team actually reached out to us and said, hey, you guys have some pretty good reviews. I wonder if we can partner with you to do pre-sales consulting for us. Nice. And so that meant their customers that were buying business subscriptions were, and those of you who have been around for AppSheet for a while, remember the infamous business subscription and all of its troubles. But people who are interested in that business subscription would get a few hours of pre-sales consulting with people from our team to help make sure that one, AppSheet was a right fit for their problem. And two, they got a jump start on how to solve that problem with AppSheet. And so that put us in front of a lot of new creators that were either seeing AppSheet for the first time or had maybe already built a prototype and like me had spent 30 to 50 hours just tooling around with something, really having fun, but still in that space of being frustrated with, I don't know how to wield this technology the way I want to.
Right.
And so that put us front and center for one-on-one training and helping people cross these hurdles. And over the years of doing that, we started recognizing, wow, everybody has a problem with data relationships. Everybody has a problem with understanding the execution context of expressions. Everybody has a problem now working with bots, There's just a few common core conceptual struggles that people have. Geniuses aside, nobody comes in understanding a handful of these different types of context. And the platform is deep and you can build a lot with it. But how do you know what the limits are? Right. As we started working with more people, we started recognizing the limits and best practices of AppSheet, especially at bigger scales of usage. And what design patterns worked for this scale and what worked for that scale. And, as our team was gaining more experience and expertise, we're like, hey, how can we give this to everybody? Because we want to see more people enjoy this and not just get frustrated. It's so fun to take your ideas and bring them to life. We want to empower others to do that. So that's when we started producing our own training. Really, there was nothing on the market at the time in terms of end-to-end training. So we did one early on with AppSheet that was sort of a free course in collaboration with AppSheet, but then we took it further, did more advanced concepts, really the things that are essential, your document generation, your relational database tables, a few different user experience design patterns, and then just some like others that were how to build an app quickly end to end. So you get a quick overview of the platform. And then started going into developing deeper courses that we started rolling out boot camps that were very in-depth, covering all the concepts pretty comprehensively and quickly, as quickly as we could. And now we're going to kind of release another iteration today in this big release. So yeah, excited for you guys to hear more about that.
Yeah. Super excited to have DeAnna here with us. Like I said, she's our director of training operations. So she's been really ramping up our training website, making sure the content is up to the highest standards, and just ready to give you guys a great learning experience with AppSheet and to really unlock the full power of AppSheet. So thanks for coming on the talk today, DeAnna. So my first question is, what have you guys been working on behind the scenes of AppSheet training?
Oh man, so much. I first want to say, kind of like Austin building this golden ticket app. That's what life is like here at Crew. I walk through the office and I'm like, I need this. And 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, I got one of the guys going, I created an app for that guy.
Usually it's not a very helpful app. Most of the time we just make life more complicated trying to solve it with an app sometimes, but
that might be true. But also sometimes I'm like, guys, let me make the app. And they're like, well, we already did it. And so I'm just letting you know it's a problem here.
Your time is coming, DeAnna.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm DeAnna. I have been working with developers, our developers here at Crew to help figure out, like Stefan was saying, like what are the major problems that people run into in building with AppSheet? What are ways that we can help put things in your toolkit to be able to experience success with the platform? But also, like, what are ways that we can help you dream about what's possible in AppSheet? And so I have been working and analyzing our trainings and talking with our customers, and also just building hopefully what you see as a powerful learning experience for you.
DeAnna is actually the most qualified person on our team, and we are so grateful to have her choosing to work with us and help us advance this initiative. So tell us a little bit about your career background, DeAnna.
Yeah, thank you, Stefan. So I have been in the world of education. I'm going to sound old here, but I guess almost 14 years. So I worked in K-12, either with the admin teams or as an educator for 8-9 years, and then moved on into the university world where I helped with instructional design as well as training on technology. So I've done a lot of study on, the ineffectiveness of training and the ways to improve how we put technology in people's hands and how we make it relevant. So yeah, it's been a long journey. I went and grabbed a few degrees and have just had some fun putting them out there into the world. And although he does say, most qualified person, that's funny. But the people we have here, they work hard and they get to know AppSheet and they get to know customers and needs. And so any team member here at Crew is a wonderful asset to making everything happen. So although I bring some curriculum knowledge to the world, without them, we wouldn't have any of this. So
awesome. Yeah. DeAnna is great to work with. She just is a wealth of knowledge and really knows how to really teach the concepts that you guys are looking to understand and comprehend and give you that best learning experience. So super excited for you guys to see these new courses and what we've changed. And so DeAnna, can you give us an insider's view of kind of those topics, the concepts, and the strategies people can expect from these courses?
Yeah, so our courses truly run the gamut of what needs are present in AppSheet. So how do I organize a data set? all the way to how do I make a button press, send a document to one of our admin to be able to do something with it. And so we've worked hard to bring, we have this idea of citizen developers, and we want anybody to be able to walk in here and be successful with what they're trying to build. Yeah. And so our trainings are designed, and our future trainings are being planned to accomplish just that. So what are the major issues in AppSheet that need training? You have questions on bots. Well, let's build a training about bots. You have questions on data normalization. Let's get that done too. And then we also have trainings that just offer you just need to know just quick, how do we build an app from start to finish? Well, then we got a training for that too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome. That's really cool. I'm getting super excited about these courses. So what are these upcoming AppSheet training courses?
One of the biggest ones that you're going to see today is that we have taken our AppSheet Essentials Bootcamp and we have put it on demand. And not only that, but we've made a ton of updates to it, as well as some interactive experiences for you that can be done on your own time. So I'm super stoked to show you that one. Next month, we'll be releasing our Expression Mastery Bootcamp on demand. And
wait, did you say bootcamp?
I did, Austin. So where we did live boot camps, and you had to take off work and fit it in your schedule, and all that had to happen to make that happen. You don't have to do that anymore. And I just am excited to say that. So that'll be next month.
Who's wanted to take one of our boot camps live before? Throw that in the chat.
Throw it in the chat.
We get emails all the time saying, we want to take the boot camp, but I'm in the Philippines. I can't do that. When you at your time of offering, and we hear that and definitely have worked hard to improve the engagement experience, even though it's not a live experience. We've made it extremely rich, which DeAnna is going to show you more about later, but also it's just so much more accessible. So excited to extend that and help others engage with that type of training material and take their apps further.
Yeah. The other thing it does that I just am excited. I know I'm getting a little off topic here, but you told me I could do so. So
yes, go for it.
You gave me permission. But the other thing it does that I don't think our boot camps did a well enough job of doing at times was it's going to give you time to deal with the content you're learning. So you need a little more time. You're working on your own. And so you're getting that time to really dive in and click buttons safely and figure out why does this work? How does it work? How do I connect it to what I'm doing? And so our developers have helped me build these courses to do that for you. And so just the learning experience and the just the growth in it alone is so cool today. But also I got to go back though, because in June and July, we're releasing a course on bots, and we're also completely overhauling our document generation course to update it with all the AppSheet has thrown into it, but also to really dive into what's possible with document generation. I don't know about y'all out there, but document generation is my favorite thing about AppSheet, because I think of all the ways, especially as a teacher, that I had to keep up with spreadsheets and all the data on the kids I was teaching, and then sharing that with parents and sharing that with administrators. And if I had an AppSheet app at that point, I would have saved literally 10, 15 hours a week. And so we're going to do a training on it and show it off. And hopefully you will be just as excited as I am. I tell the guys all the time, they're making me a little more nerdy. So join us. The nerd side is cool. But yeah, by this summer, we'll be releasing 3 new things. So I would love to be able to sign up. Join
certifications.
Us. And certifications, man.
So many cool things. We just forget about all of them.
Yeah. So we've also built a certification that is our AppSheet Creator Cert. And it certifies that you can build an app from start to finish. And so we test your ability and your knowledge of hey, does a bot function offline? And is this data normalized properly or whatever? Or is this expression entered in the right way? Will it execute the way we want it to? So We've made it where you can share that on resumes, share it in social media, share it with your bosses. We've written it out so that people know, like, this is what this means, because it is brand new on the market, which allows you to level up your career, but also just like show your knowledge in a very real, meaningful way. So yeah. I'll show you that today too.
Awesome. Yeah, this is super exciting. I'm getting pumped for the grand unveiling. I cannot wait. These courses sound super engaging. I'm really excited to see how they will continue to build and grow. What people are already coming to the table with their AppSheet knowledge, and then how it can take them further in their AppSheet development learning journey. So can you talk a little bit more about the different types of learning experiences people can expect from these courses?
Yeah, this is where I get to nerd out. So I'm not just a math wizard, all right, guys, and really not a math wizard, but but I did a lot of research on learning mediums. So how did the pencil change the world of learning? How did a marker board? How did an iPad? And where were the disconnects? And so as I looked at that, I also looked at how are people taught and how do we learn? How do we keep success? And the one thing I saw through all of it is that learning needs to be varied. So I can't just learn all through video and be able to fully grasp everything I can do. I need to be questioned. I need to be tested. I need to be like, I'm learning SQL today. And it's like, hey, what's an IDE? And what is this? And how does this work? And it's like, okay, I got to make connections to what I'm being taught. And so what we've done is we've taken our original AppSheet training courses, we've taken our boot camps, and we have looked at ways to vary the learning experiences to create meaning at all times of that training experience. And so within the trainings, you're going to find printable materials. You're going to find interactive labs that you're getting to work alongside our developers online in your own time to be able to like work through step by step. How does this work in AppSheet? Mm-hmm. You're going to get to build your own apps. So you're going to build an app in our course or AppSheet Essentials and be able to leave and see that app within AppSheet. You're also getting quizzes to test your knowledge and say, okay, I got that wrong. Where did I disconnect? All right, here's where I find it in the course. Then you have the certification. Can I actually say I could build AppSheet apps? Heck yes, you can with that certification. And you'll be able to paint a picture for your people of this is how you do it. And then not only that, we have worked on our team trainings. And so Austin's going to tell you about our enterprise packages and how we do still offer live boot camps. And we do have consulting packages and all of that within environments where you can teach your whole team how things work in AppSheet. So we've really looked at how do people learn and what ways can we put that value into your hands. And then I just have to say, I am confident in what we've done, that it's a comprehensive learning experience for you at a phenomenal price. We're putting expert people in your hands, and we're going to show you more about pricing soon, but man, it's incredible. So I'm excited.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the new AppSheetTraining.com. This is no-code business automation made simple. So on our new website, we have all new features. We're going to scroll through each of them and see what each of these new updates look like, how to get signed up, how to talk with an expert, how the new website works. DeAnna's going to run through the new learning environment and a certification walkthrough. I'm also going to spend some time looking at our enterprise account and what all of that looks like as well. So like I said, this is no-code business automation made simple. So we are here to help you on your AppSheet learning journey. To sign up, all you have to do is click this button here, and it's going to send you to our pricing plan. But I'm going to go ahead and skip back up here. So how it works, we have expert instructors. All of our trainings are now on demand. So you don't have to wait. You can view the course whenever you want to. It's AppSheet training right when you need it. And that includes our boot camps, on-demand courses, and of course, certification you can take anytime you want. So the last part says, put your AppSheet skills on display, and you can register for our certification exam and put it out for everyone to see. Also, I will say, you can click this button here and talk with our expert. So Kale is leading our tech talks, and you can visit with him, and he can help you create that use case guide, walk you through learning path, and set you up with consulting. So super great resource there to get you started with AppSheet. So the way it works is you're going to pick a plan that works for you. One subscription with unlimited access to our full suite of AppSheet training and resources. So we have really tried to simplify our pricing process and how to get signed up for courses and registered and everything. So we have 2 packages. Our community package will get you access to those weekly webinars, the AppSheet Toolbox, AppSheet IQ, and blogs and articles. All of that is included under our free package, the community package. All right, so for $39 a month, you can access all of our courses, not just one, all of them. So if you're wondering about document generation, how to create an app from beginning to end, how about in a couple months, advanced logic inside of AppSheet, that $39 will cover all of those courses. You can mix and match, get the learnings that you want, and then go on with creating your apps.
Yeah, AppSheet is a tool that has worldwide adoption. And like Austin, you said, there are people solving $1 million and multi-million-dollar problems with AppSheet. And there are people that are just building apps for fun or for use in their family and all in between. And, you know, we want to make our training available to the most people we can to be encouraged and built up by this material and hopefully move forward in their AppSheet learning journey. We felt like this subscription model kind of, you know, would fit that the most. And so that was our intention. Mm-hmm. But we want to continue making this training, making more of it, and starting to cover even more of the landscape of no code and business automation, even outside of just AppSheet and what it offers, but the adjacent tools that may be in your different workspace or collaboration environments or great third-party tools that are out there.
If you need to contact us for custom team training or enterprise training for your whole organization, please see this page here. It's just appsheettraining.com/enterprise. You can set up a discovery call with us, and it will be with Kale, and you will get to discuss what kind of plan you need, build out that custom training for your organization, and kind of see what we can help you do with AppSheet and help empower your team with AppSheet training. So super easy. Just click on the discovery call button, and you can also download the flyer, and it will ask you a few questions and then send you an email with that flyer. So without further ado, DeAnna, did you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm going to make them wait a second longer because I just got to say the time we've put into building what you're about to see for training, we've also put into these enterprise packages. So if you are looking for some team training that is solidly built, I feel like we have something for you. So I'd love to connect with you in a discovery call and let you see what we've built there too. All right. Awesome. So right now, this is our course library, and we are adding more, working on it. We've also worked really hard to run through the details. Any of these I can click into right now, and that's part of the greatness of this subscription too. You get access to all of these courses, and you could start one and be like, okay, I'm done with what I needed in that course. Let's bounce to the next one. The thing I wanted to draw your attention to is that we have spelled out what's in these courses. We've worked really hard to figure out what things do these courses teach and how are we breaking it down. So this one is going to give you a real foundation in building an app sheet. And then it tells you how. It also gives you a preview of what the courses are broken down into. So some of them are only 2 modules and are done real quick. And some of them are this boot camp, and it's massive. And so, all right, so every course will kick off with just a welcome to the course, explaining that, one of the big things is that it's asynchronous, which means it can be done on your own time. You're not waiting on me. You're not scheduling a time to meet. you just make it happen when you can. It's also a learning experience, and that's a big deal in these courses because it's not just a sit and watch a video and hope for the best. You're getting what I talked about earlier in all of the different learning mediums that will advance you to truly be able to stand and say, yeah, I can build AppSheet apps. So who wants to see a little bit of a module?
This is so clean.
That was the goal, So in each of the pages, you're going to see videos, you're going to see some words to explain. You're going to have the ability to click in PDFs or print them and see quickly, like, what is information that is essential to knowing an AppSheet. So for instance, how does
so good
Google Sheets compare to SQL? Like we've taken that information and we've put it into documents that you can share with your people and have just at the drop of a hat. We've also built labs, and I'm going to show you one of the big ones. You just got to see it. So the labs, you have a printable document walking you through the steps in AppSheet. You've got step-by-step processes and images to go along with it. That way you know exactly what you're doing and how you're doing it within the program. We've also got quizzes that will walk you through, like, hey, oh, you can't see that. Can't see the answers. I'm so sorry. But like, how do I answer these questions based on what I've read, watched, experienced as I've gone through the course? So all of that's there. We've also got like quick tips. Hey, our developers have gone through and said, hey, this is a best practice in AppSheet. I can't tell you how many times through our boot camps we were asked, like, hey, what's a best practice for user experience and that design? Well, we've put that in here, so that way quickly, like, oh, this is something I need to think about in building my apps. We've also done like just a deep dive into things that aren't normally, people don't usually dive deep into, just to make sure, like, when we say that we're laying a firm foundation in AppSheet, you've got it. So that's AppSheet Essentials. We've also got like an overview bar. That way you can see quickly, how far have I done through this course, and be able to pick it up and start it, stop it whenever you need to fit your schedule. And so all of that's here. So that's our boot camp. Then we've also converted the other courses. So this was our vehicle inspection app. So we have renamed all of our courses, and we'll tell you that in each of the ones. So if you have purchased and you're like, which one is this? We got that for you. Sorry, guys. We're loading here.
We've got like one person on our team on a consulting call right now, and then us three all in the same building doing live streaming. So bandwidth is a little shallow right now.
Yeah. So we've got our videos as normal, but we've also got a little explanation in the midst of our training. So we've upgraded even the ones that you've already purchased in the past, if you have, or if you're brand new to us, we've just enhanced the experience of all of it. And so I am so excited to be releasing it to you today. So you'll notice this module or this course is much shorter, but this course as well, you're building an app from start to finish. And so, you're getting to walk through that. All right, that is our new LMS. Welcome. Now I want to show you our certification page. So are we ready?
So ready. Okay, one thing I'm really excited about the certification is that there's almost nowhere you can go to prove that you have real comprehensive AppSheet development experience. And it's really hard to build an exam for that. And this is our first attempt. And so, if you have feedback on it, you take it and you try, and you're like, hey, I didn't like this question, or I didn't like this thing, or I had this other idea, email us, give us feedback. We wanted to create a very reflective certification that really says and proves, hey, I know enough about AppSheet to know when to use it, how to use it, and I have enough experience to deploy it to users safely and securely. Not just I can build a small app, but I can build rich business logic applications that solve real critical real life problems, and are not just, well, I went through the course and I checked all the boxes and now I get a badge that says I finished. This is a real certificate of achievement, and we wanted it to mean something. So I'm excited to release this, and hopefully it means something in the AppSheet community.
Yeah. The other thing we wanted is, like you kind of said, but we wanted to make sure you were challenged in this, like that you truly could stand and say, yes, I can do all of these things and be confident in it. And so the questions are not just the ones you pick up and go, oh, the answer's A, obviously, you know, some of them are going to make you think, and I'm excited about it. So I think it's the teacher in me, you know, everybody loves a good test day. There's just a lot of power in watching kids, you know, just be like, oh, did I listen? So, but just like the courses, I told you that we really took time to make sure we analyzed what did we cover in this course and how did we cover it. We did that with the certification as well. So the certification is laid out into 6 sections. And in the midst of those 6 sections are objective measurements for how much of this needs to be done to be successful in AppSheet, and then what percentage of questions reflect that. And so we worked really hard to build solid questions that analyzed what you know and how you're successful in AppSheet. So this page, one of my favorites, because it just gives some solid detail. We looked at what is the standard passing rate of certifications. We looked at about how long should it take you. And then once I have a certification, where do I want to put that knowledge? And so we made it where you can pop it on your LinkedIn. You can put it, you know, in your resumes. You can put it on your website, wherever it needs to be shown for you to say, hey, yes, I got this. We made it available for you. So
yes, on that page, it currently says it's only $29. Well, that is old page, and all of our site testing we didn't find that one. It is included with the pro subscription. So it's no extra charge inside the pro subscription. You have to have the pro subscription to be able to take the certification. And as we release more certifications for different parts of AppSheet, different types of developer or administrator flows in AppSheet, those will all be included as well.
Yeah, and you see here, I can hit take test. Again, I don't want to show you the test questions. That's a secret. You gotta study.
I'm like,
first.
DeAnna, show them the test questions. You like skip through the quiz on the LMS. I'm like, it looks so cool. She's like, no, I'm not going to give you guys any freebies. So she means
the teacher
business.
in me. So if you want to see some test questions, you got to complete a course and, you know, study. So, but yeah, I can just click take test right now. It'll take me right to it. And all of it's done from right here. And so that is, man, that's our new website. And hey, Austin, it's only $39 a month. I just want to let you know, just in case you forgot, this massive thing of courses, certification, everything, all wrapped in one. So
it's so good. I think my favorite thing about it is that there's always new things that are going to come every month, right?
Yeah.
And you're still just paying that $39, and you're getting access to expert knowledge, expert instructors, on-demand courses. I mean, you can literally learn something in a weekend and then start building your app that next week when you go to work. And then, I don't know, maybe somebody's going to get a promotion because they just automated one part of their job, right? And now they're doing so many different things so quickly. Or maybe you're a professional AppSheet developer and you're trying to land more clients. Well, now you have access to a wealth of knowledge to really help you create those advanced features that your clients are asking for.
Yep. And the professional subscription also gives a discount on consulting time. So if you need a faster solution or you need a second set of eyes on something, it just makes that a little bit more accessible, so that, and it kind of aligns interest. We say in our tech talks when we're talking about consulting or getting help from our team, or even us developing an app for you, if that were the case, that it's the more you know about AppSheet, the more valuable your time with an expert is, because you can apply those things more efficiently, and the terms that we're talking about, you're already familiar with. So it just makes those things so much more valuable.
How it works, remember, you're going to get access to those expert instructors, going to get access to on-demand courses and certifications. And when you have that professional subscription, you're also going to get that 15% off of consulting. So all of that, let's put it all in one view. Unlock the full power of AppSheet with the professional subscription. It's only $39 a month, total value of over $1,000. All right. So make sure to go over to AppSheet Training right now, get signed up, and get registered for these courses. You get access to all of our content, and then sign up for a tech talk. Kale wants to meet with you. Get that 15% discount to meet with one of our developers. And that way we can start helping you create those quick and easy automations to help run your business processes more efficiently. So we really want to help you guys out. We really want to be that guide that gets your business from point A to point B as quick as possible. So anyone who's signed up for this next week is going to get entered to win this grand prize. And we'll be announcing it later on next week. So make sure to look out for an email from us, and we'll announce the winner there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Super excited to see what happens and see how y'all are using AppSheet Training. Spread the word, share this with your friends that are using AppSheet. We really want to help the most amount of people to be able to utilize AppSheet and unlock the full power of it. So I just want to say a final thank you to Stefan and DeAnna and our whole team here who have spent so much time working on AppSheet Training, and then also to everyone who's joined. Super excited that you guys are able to join and hang out with us on Friday morning. And
so Austin,
like I mentioned before, if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to me at austin@crewtech.com. Also, reach out to Kale, get signed up for his tech talks and discovery calls. That way we can connect with you guys and make sure we're helping you out the best way possible. So we will see you guys next week.
Thanks to everyone who's participating in the chat and making this a very fun experience.